Good morning, everyone. And here we are with my friend Calliope Pettis.
Yes.
She's singing. And we're going to do what you call a calibration song, and you can tell the story of the song.
Yeah, so I picked this song up in my travels, and the words really say it all. A calibration song.
And we redid it here, so I'm not sure how the original goes. And you're welcome to sing with us when she tells you to sing. Well, you can sing it all the time.
To the west, to the north, to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north, to the east, to the south. Grandfather, I'm calling on you, need your guidance now. Grandmother, I'm calling on you, need your guidance now. To the west, to the west, to the north, to the north, to the east, to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north, to the east, to the south. Grandfather, I'm calling on you, need your guidance now. Grandmother, I'm calling on you, need your guidance now. To the west, to the north, to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north, to the east, to the south. Grandfather, I'm calling on you, I need your guidance now. Grandmother, I'm coming to you in humility, I need your guidance now. May we honor our ancestors and have the courage to walk our own path at the same time. To the west, to the west, to the west, to the north, to the east, to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north, to the east, to the east, to the east, to the south. Grandfather, I'm calling on you, need your guidance now. Grandmother, I'm calling on you, need your guidance now. To the west, to the north, to the east,
don't think I need it.
No, somebody turn it on.
I can
just put
Hello?
There you go.
All right. Hi, I'm Patty Falconberry. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah. It's good to see our congregation and our Zoom crowd as well. We are grateful to share this time with you. Okay. I want to tell you a little about some events we have going on. On Sunday mornings at 9:30, we have the Trust Circle. And we have service at 11, and then at 2:30 in the lobby, and also on Zoom, we have A Course in Miracles. All right, then Reverend Jesse will be speaking via Zoom on Tuesday nights from 6 to 7. And let's see, there's a Qigong class with Reese every Friday morning at 9:30. Meditations this week will be at 10 a.m. on Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. The church's annual meeting will be held on Sunday, March 13th. That's in 2 weeks, and it will be immediately after the service. And we'll be talking about where we are now and where we're going. If your annual giving statement is incorrect, or if you have not received your annual giving statement, contact info@unitybham.org by March 9th, and they'll get it all fixed up and in your hands. Okay, let's prepare for meditation with Alim Thompson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Really expected to see more people here today. I think we need this. All the turmoil going on. I was thinking about Ram Dass, and if he were still here with us, I think that he would tell us to deepen our spiritual practices. The more unhinged the world becomes, we must hold fast and deepen our attunement to our true essential selves. So for our meditation, I was inspired to offer a breathing practice to help us be centered in the truth of who we are. And by way of introduction, I offer words from one of my teachers about breath. Our identity, our self, our sense of self is a product of the deep tide of the continuous rhythm of the inhalation and exhalation. And the more profound, the more expansive the breath becomes, the vaster the states of identity that we can experience. So our self is not a fixed thing, it's a product of the character of our breath at a particular moment. Hence the need to watch the breath, to guard the breath, to cultivate the breath, and to purify. So breathing practices are fundamental aspect of all mystical traditions. To mystics and native peoples, the created world is luminous, living, sacred, angelic, rather than our mechanistic view of an inanimate, soulless, spiritless world. If you're familiar with the Essene Gospel of Peace, Jesus refers to the angel of earth, the angel of water, the angel of fire, the angel of earth. These are the elements of, well, they're in alchemy, the four elements of which all living is composed of these elements. So with this practice, we want to open our consciousness to the nature of these angels, these elements. So if you would place your feet firmly on the floor, feeling your connection with the earth, feeling your buttocks in the chair. You may want to sit forward a little bit so your spine can be straight. Bring your shoulder blades together so your chest is expanded. Come into an awareness of your breath. As you inhale, your belly expands in your chest. As you exhale, your belly contracts, and then your chest. And we'll begin with a concentration on the angel of earth. And with this concentration, we breathe in through the mouth, through the nose, out through the nose. Expanding the belly and then the chest. Exhaling, contracting the belly and the chest. Feeling our rootedness to the earth. And now, as we inhale, feel the earth's magnetism, which holds us down to the earth. And this magnetism permeates our physical bodies in the form of, like a magnet. We have fields, energetic fields in our bodies, and these become somewhat scrambled in our daily lives through lack of attention. And by attending to the breath, we can align these more. So this field of force, we draw it in from the earth and up into our bodies, all the way up to our crown center, and back down. And with each breath, feel an alignment coming so that the fields of force become concentric within us. And on the mental level, the earth tends to be fixed. And where we want to be, we want that fixedness to be in the form of determination, of patience. Feeling that magnetism as we draw it up into our bodies, up to the crown, and then allowing it to collapse back to the earth. One more breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And now we move to the angel of water. Continue breathing through, this time through the nose and out through the mouth. bodies are mostly water. Focusing on the blood, the lymphs, the circulation through the body, the water lubricates our joints. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Imagine sitting by a brook, feeling the joy of the water as it babbles, bringing this joy into our consciousness, purifying the water element in our bodies, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now tuning to the angel of fire. Fire is the great purification. Our bodies are in a constant state of oxidation. Fire corresponds with the nervous system, all the millions of electric impulses, synapses. Purifying this helps us to purify our thoughts. Raise them to the present. Breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose. Burning away all that is not of our true nature. Now the angel of air. The breath becomes more refined. Breathing in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Feeling ourselves not to be so skin bound. All of our pores are breathing. Allowing the air to blow away all that is not of our true nature. And finally, ether, which is the quintessence of all the elements. Breathing in through the nose and mouth, out through the nose and mouth. Very refined breath. Etheric. Feel yourself diffusing. You can attune to the crown chakra, the top of the head. The top of Jacob's ladder in the Bible. Jacob's ladder is the spine. Jesus says the angels of the earth rise up this ladder, the angels of heaven descend. And with a prayer. Beloved and Almighty One, through the rays of the sun, through the waves of the air, through the all-pervading life in space, purify and revivify us. And we pray, heal our bodies, hearts, and souls. Amen.
Let us take that element of breath we were working with and add a vibration. Yeah, that's right. We've got a simple heart and a simple mind. And though you grow more complex, just remember that we're all bound by the same ticking time. Oh. You're not evil, you just got to love freely. And if honesty were more important than being right, oh, what a world we live in. I'm sure swimming works both ways. And if honesty were more important than being right, so what a world we live in, and I'm sure we would be able to forgive ourselves. But compassion still has pity as its evil twin, and we all want to be loved before we learn how to love ourselves. And that's okay because we're all learning how to love. That's right. We're all learning how to love. I think the most loving thing we can do is be honest with ourselves. And that's a challenge when we feel like we have to manage everything around us, but the truth is the way through to the light and the love that we all know on a deeper level than this body we're in. I believe this body we're in is serving for one grand purpose, and that's for us to wake up every day and walk out what it looks like to live in love. Loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, loving our families when they're difficult, because they're always difficult. But more importantly, being able to see beyond this realm and through to the love that's in everybody, whether they look differently than us, have a different set of beliefs than we do, have an entirely different story than we do, because it's all just a story that's keeping us from that light deep, deep, deep within. So I'd like for you to join in. It's simple, just like this. We're all learning how to love. We're all learning how to love. We're all learning how to love. Love is our vibration, feel it. We're all learning.
Just kind of rest in that energy. There's a real light, meditative, intuitive energy in the house. If I can say, the prophet and the mystic Alim said that Jacob's ladder is the spine, and that the ancestors descend and the angels ascend down that spine. The human body is interesting. Neville Goddard said that God is man asleep, you may be seated, and man is God awakened. If I can be a little radical and a little mystical, Allah. Everybody say Allah. Allah. Allah mystically is arm, leg, arm, head. arm, leg, arm, head. Allah being the name of God. The human body is a beautiful, beautiful instrument. How many vertebrae are in the spine? 33? What was the age of 32? What was the age of Jesus when he died? 33. How many buttons are on a cassock that a Roman priest wears? 33. The human body is a marvelous, marvelous thing. And many times when we're looking for what it is we need in life, we look outside of the human body. But to be honest with you, what you need is right here in the house. The Spirit of God, the healing that you need, the restoration of your finances, the healing of your mind, the recuperation of your sanity for the times where you feel lost, or the trust that you're looking for that you're not getting in the world. Anybody ever felt alone and out by themselves? It's like, I'm in left field here. Nobody believes a word that I am saying. But when I come back home to this body, even when I feel like I've left it, because I haven't left this body, it's still here waiting for me. So if I don't have any other support in my life, I always have the support of one. Wherever I go, there I am. You ever moved and just found that it's the same people in this city that were there in that city? You know what the difference is? It's you. It's you. You are the mystical thread that ties together everything in your life. Everybody say weird. Weird in our today's terms, thoughts, all that stuff. It's kind of a bad term. Oh, you're weird, but weird is actually a mystical term too. The weird, they were the sisters, the W-Y-R-D in the Nordic European tradition that mystically wove together the fabric of time, that mystically came together and divined the future of the world, that mystically came together and decided when babies would be born and what souls would incarnate and what last names a family should take on. And so in ancient cultures, they would consult the oracles, the prophets, the teachers, the mystics, the elders in a family to find out, what is life saying to me? Everybody say weird. So it's okay to feel a little weird. It's okay to be out there by yourself sometimes, because believe it or not, when you are in weird, you're actually in right. You are right where you're supposed to be. And there's some weird people in this house, I won't say that. Even how you're sitting, you don't even realize it, but you're aligned from the pulpit on the left side of the room. And the left side of the room is the more intuitive faculty. When we talk in deep mystical, see, you got me on this mystical thread now. In spiritual practices about the left hand of God, it's the hidden side of God. The right side of God, or the right hand, is the dominant, more active, but the left hand is the more intuitive. It's the inner knower. Everybody say knower. Remember Noah's Ark? See, it's the Noah in you that gets it first. It's the knower in you that always gets it. And when you tune into the inner knower, then you'll find yourself building arcs of safety that will allow you to stay afloat in life. Noah constructed the ark. Everybody thought he was a fool, out there building and creating. And some of you right now, if I can speak prophetically, you're creating things in your life and you have no support. Everybody thinks you're off. Who's in the room? Who am I talking to? I'm making something right now and they're saying, why are you doing that? This isn't the time for that. Spirit says, go ahead and do it. Because the knower in you gets it first. And when you build the ark, here's the beautiful thing about it. Everybody say family only. See, there's only enough room in the ark for family. That's why they don't understand. Let me say that again. There's only enough room for family. That's why they don't understand, because they're not family. Jesus said it like this, and I'm going to come back to this point. He said when he was teaching in one of the scriptures, there was a knock outside. It's like, hey, your mother and your brother are here. He was like, my mother and my brother, these. And he turned to his disciples, my mother and my brother, and they that do the will of my Father. See, you can tell who's a part of you. You can tell who belongs to you because y'all talk alike, y'all walk alike, y'all act alike. And this is beyond culture, it's beyond race. There's a connection. You can pick up the phone and talk to someone, and it's like, this is the first time we talk, but I feel like we've met before. Can I tell you something spiritual? This is a metaphysical house, so I can say this. You only meet here on this plane if you met before on the other plane. Think about the billions of people on the planet. Think about the millions of people that you'll never meet. You only meet them in this lifetime because you met them in the last. There's too much mystical stuff. Let me stop. We're in church. We can't do all that stuff. But this is you. This is your life. This is your gift. Plato said this: you don't learn anything new in life. What happens is you live your life and you get reminded of what you already know. It's the story of the prodigal son. It's coming back home to the self. I had a few announcements, so I'll probably get to those after, because it looks like Prophet Alim already opened something up, so I'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody out there watching on Facebook Live. I want to welcome you into the mystical, prophetic, intuitive experience of Unity of Birmingham. Come on and put your hands together. Let's welcome all of our Facebook watchers here. They actually have me standing in one spot this morning. They think they're smart. They know I like to move around, so they gave me a microphone with a cord, so I'll try to behave myself today. Me and my pretty vest. Ain't it pretty? Look at it, so shiny. No, but I'm glad to see each and every one of you guys this morning, because believe it or not, the Spirit of God doesn't dwell in buildings alone. The intuitive, divine intelligence, the power of God, the spirit of love, whatever name you call this divine intelligence, it dwells in us, with us, as us. Let me say it like this, Malachi 3:8, remember that famous scripture? Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, so that there may be meat in mine house. Prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, watch this part, that I will not pour you out a blessing, so that you will not have room enough to receive. A lot of us think that that means something's going to be given to us, but if you look at it closely, it's I will pour you out a blessing. Because it's you that is the blessing that's poured out. Because the oil is in you. Tell your neighbor the oil is in you. The gifting, the knowledge, the wherewithal to do what it is you need to do, the ideas, the thoughts and intents of your heart. It's in you. Everything that you're looking for is in you. That's why there's such a demand on your life. That's why there's so much pressure, because life is trying to pour you out. See, we look, again, outside of ourselves for the answer, and life is grabbing you like a salt shaker and just pouring you out. Like you get those mania times. Creatives know what I'm talking about, where you just can't sleep, Miss Peggy. You know how it is, where you just can't, and you have all these ideas running through your head. Tell somebody I'm being poured out. Some of you are sitting on some amazing ideas. Some of you are sitting on things that you haven't even articulated yet because you don't have the words. It's just a feeling right now. And believe it or not, feeling is the deepest level of thought. It's the deepest level of thought. Prophecy, the prophetic, that intuitive knowing where you just know something ahead of time before it happens, by the time you've articulated, you've been sitting on it for a couple days. It's the interpretation of the skin on my body. The hairs on my arm are standing up. There's this thing I have on the back of my neck. My stomach is churning, and 2 days later, you're like, oh, that's what that was. So what's going on right now? To the degree that we're experiencing frustration and suffering in the world, there are prophetic voices that are being raised up. What's a prophetic voice? It's the voice of someone who knows. When the world is asking a question, in every generation, there are knowers who are raised up, who's give an answer. So the Bible says, for every man that asketh a question, you can provide an answer. In the New Testament, it said that you need not to worry what you will say, for in that self-same hour, the Spirit will give it to you. That's what's going on in many of your lives. You're trying to find a way to express what's going on inside. Life is asking you questions. There's a demand being placed on you. There's a demand being placed on your gifts. Am I in the house yet?
Yes.
And I think you guys are going to be okay. I think you guys are going to be all right. For everyone that's listening to this, if you're watching online and you're experiencing frustration, if you're trying to launch a business plan, if there's something going on in your life and you feel life asking you the question, because we don't have problems. We don't have problems. You know what we have? Questions. Questions. And when we perceive these questions as problems, it delays the answer. See, I'm trying to get to my message, and y'all are messing with me. This isn't what I was prepared to say. I had this over here. I'm supposed to talk about this thing here. I'm going to get to that in a second. But when we perceive these problems as problems, we delay the answer. But the answer already exists. Here's another mystical statement, and this is the truth. I promise you it is, as I know it to be. Whenever a problem arises, the answer comes along with it. The wheat and the tare, Bible scholars, grow together. It's God that makes the separation, right? Problems and questions and answers, they all come together. What happens is, it's our ability to believe, it's our ability to see, it's our willingness to do the investigative work, to sit with it and to wrestle with it. And in that wrestling, the answer reveals itself. Do you know why the answer reveals itself and the answer doesn't come? It reveals itself because it's already there. See, the answer never comes because the answer never left. The answer was always there. You ever had that feeling? You're looking for something. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? Oh, it's right there. They call it schizomas. There are blind spots in your perception. So what is spiritual practice about? Coming together Sunday morning. It's about opening your eyes to see the greatness that's already inside of you. To see the greatness that's inside of others. To sit next to someone and have them to hold the light for you until you are able to hold it for yourself. Paul said it like this. He said that while he was on the road to Damascus, he didn't receive new eyes. The scales fell from the eyes he already had, and then he saw. Because you never get new eyes. What happens is you're able to see from the lens you already have. Let me tell you this. Some of you right now that are listening to this and you've run away from Christianity and you've run away from the Bible, and now you find yourself returning back to those same teachings, but you're seeing them with new eyes. You're seeing them metaphysically. You're running away from your prayer life, and now you find yourself praying more than you've ever known. You're running away from your meditation life, and now you're coming back to it. That's the story of the prodigal son. There's some things in life that I'm finding as I'm getting older that can be repurposed. My partner's like, oh, Lord. You don't have to throw everything away. As soon as I get home, she's probably going to go in the room and throw all my stuff. Like, let me go ahead and get it right now because he's trying to keep stuff. You don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You know, we do that to things and we also do that to people. When people have fulfilled their usefulness, toss them away. Boyfriends, girlfriends. We throw people away and they don't even realize they're gone. We're still standing here. I've already gotten rid of you. You're talking and I'm hearing wah, 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 wah. You're talking and nobody's home. But when we come back home to self and we begin to see with new eyes, we'll find that everything we need, me and Miss Peggy was talking about that the other day, everything we need is in the house. There's a story in the Buddhist tradition, Kisagamai. And in the story, her son had died and she was looking for help. So someone said, go to the Buddha. And the Buddha said, okay, I can heal your son, but I need you to do me a favor. Find me a grain of mustard seed in the house of someone who had not seen death. So she ran around to about 10 homes. She could find the mustard seed if I can interpret it, but she couldn't find it in the house of someone who had not seen death because famine had hit the land. But she caught the gist of the wisdom because in order to concentrate on her objective, she had to put down her story. And see, that's the thing. Some of you are on the cusp of the answer popping up. Some of you are on the cusp of the answer revealing itself. Some of you are on the cusp of getting the thing that you've been looking for. But if you are honest with yourself, it's right when you're standing on the edge when you're feeling the most tension. It's like, how do I know that something good is about to happen? I don't know. I feel like I'm almost there. I'm right at the point of giving up. And as soon as you are ready to, something comes in. It's like, what is that? That was the tension because you were experiencing this breakthrough trying to come all this time, but it was just that frustration, that moment, and life wasn't trying to beat you down. Life was trying to get out of you. Life was trying to move some things out of the way. So in the process of seeing with new eyes and tapping into this power and coming home to self and honoring our true gift, sometimes things have to be moved out of the way. During this process, I'm sure you guys have seen it over the last couple of months, friends and family dynamics and friend dynamics have changed. The people who you call on the phone now probably weren't the people that you called on the phone on a regular a couple months ago. See, those dynamics change because there's a new self that's evolving. See, that new self, when it evolves, it includes the past, but it also moves forward. And a lot of times, those that can't get with the program aren't around to see the new evolution. They aren't around to see the new story. They aren't around to see the new house. They aren't around to see the new car. Because when you didn't have gas in your tank, they weren't there to help. And now that you got gas and you got a new car, and now they want to come around. They aren't around to see the new boyfriend because they didn't like the old one, and then they gave you such a hard time when you were single, you don't want to bring the new one around because you're afraid they're going to run them off too. They're not around to see the new girlfriend or the new wife because they were so horrible to the other wife, they didn't give her a chance. They aren't around to hear your testimony because they weren't supporting you when you were experiencing your test. Somebody's like, I know that's right. Repeat this mantra with me, new friends. It's okay to have new friends sometimes. Because sometimes, believe it or not, we keep people around because of the length of time they've been with me. I'm going to tell you something somebody told me one time. One of the most abusive people I know. They said, I can talk to you like this because I've known you long. So the length of time that I know you gives me the right to say what I want to say to you. They didn't realize I have the right to not listen. So you can talk, but ain't nobody there. See, when we own our power and we take back our authority and when we set our boundaries and when we come home to self, coming home to self is the final stage of your healing. When you wake up, you realize, I don't have to take that. They don't get to talk to me like that. And they don't get the pleasure of hearing me argue back with them. I get smart about it. As soon as they start up, let me gone. In the wind, disappeared. Where did they go? I was going to gone. You get so intuitive that the sound of the phone ringing tells you who is about to call. You got the same ringtone. Bloop, 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 bloop. Everybody's call sounds the same. And you say, I bet you that's so-and-so. And you look. I'm going to tell you, for the people in your life that you can't block on your phone, I'm going to give you a secret. Change their name. Change their name from so-and-so, first, last name, to aggravating so-and-so. Some of you probably already done it. Change their first and last name from so-and-so to get on my nerves so-and-so. Change their name if you can't block them from first and last name to I need to block you, but I can't do it right now. Change their name to do not answer last name. Because some of you get caught. Brother in the back, Spirit says, watch your cell phone because I'm seeing multiple around you. Spirit says, don't get caught. Because if they all know about each other, there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems. And I'm hearing them talk, and I'm seeing them in the club. Spirit says they don't need to know each other. Because if they do, there's going to be problems. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm on camera. Excuse me. You guys did this. This is a prophetic house. And what I mean by that is this is a house where individuals have committed to living the work and staying close to the flame. You guys are going to see in the next couple of months your intuitive level go to another place. People are going to come back and tell you, you know what, that thing you told me that actually happened. You know, that dream you said you had, you know what, that actually was a real thing. You know what, you told me not to go there at such and such time, and I listened to you. I'm glad I didn't because there was a fire. You know, you told me not to go down that street. I'm glad I didn't because somebody got shot last night. These signs shall follow them that believe. See, the signs don't follow when you don't believe. Well, what are you telling me to believe? I'm telling you to believe in the power that's within you. Greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. Who is the he that is within me versus the he that's in the world? The he that is in the world is the Jesse that you see. It's my conscious mind. But Joseph Murphy said that when we get it in the unconscious, when we get it on the subconscious level, there's an intuitive knowing right within your heart, right within your subconscious mind. Can I give you a spiritual trick, spiritual formula? When you go to sleep, Jesus said this, that when you go into your closet, pray, and your Father who is in secret will reward you openly. Your Father who is in secret is your subconscious mind. So when you go to sleep tonight, the last thought you should have is of the thing that you were trying to create. So consciously take your prayer to your subconscious when you sleep, and when you wake up the next day, you'll find your answer. See, the reason why you can't find your answer is because you're giving your father the wrong message. You're giving your mother the wrong message. You're worrying about your body, and your body is manifesting your disease instead of manifesting your healing. See, worry is prayer in the wrong direction. So it's not that you don't pray, you're just praying opposite. That's why Myrtle Fillmore said we should have affirmations and denials. And that's why Catherine Ponder's work isn't just prosperity, it's healing, and it's also prayer. We're in the process of chronicling the history of the church, and I was blessed with the opportunity on yesterday evening to reach out to the family and speak to them. I spoke with Richard Thrower, who was the son of Catherine Ponder. And Catherine Ponder, who celebrated her 95th birthday on February 14th, sends her greetings to the Unity of Birmingham. Miss Ponder, who was here, go ahead and put her, let's clap for that. Miss Ponder, who was here in the 50s, 1958, herself and her son, here in the 50s. And so Miss Ponder is actually proud of you guys and proud of this new chapter, according to Brother Richard, her son. So, an elder who was here sitting in, not these seats, but sitting in that same place that you're sitting in, metaphorically speaking, from the 50s, taught, labored, worked in the city, did what God called her to do, and now she's retired. She sends her blessings. So that's the responsibility that's on your shoulder. And you should feel good because it should let you know that you're on the right track as an individual and as a community. So if you ever needed to see your trajectory, you can look at your past. Don't get caught up, brother. Don't get caught up, brother. They don't even know each other. Lord have mercy. Who was that? That wasn't Fetty Wap. That was, who was that? What's his name from the song? Who knows it? They don't know about each other. I'll give it to you after service. But that is, if you want to know about the trajectory, then look at the past. And Unity of Birmingham, you guys are on the right track. So coming home, when we do the work of coming home, we come back to who we really are. We come back to ourselves. Last point, and I gotta go, it's almost that time. When we look at the story of the prodigal son, we beat up on the prodigal son and we call him prodigal because he left the house. But spiritually speaking, this father was just as lost as the son. If you're a parent, you can attest to this, that when you have a wayward child, you can call them that, you're just as lost as that child is. Because when they leave or when they do something contrary to your teaching, it bothers you. And you tell yourself that that's not me, they didn't get it from me, but deep down on the inside, you know that there is a rebelliousness that's in you that you cover up with makeup and a cardigan. There's a rebelliousness in you that you cover up with a pretty vest and a nice chain. There's a rebelliousness in you that you had when you were a young adult that's manifesting in your younger children. And here's the thing about that rebelliousness. That rebelliousness becomes personal power as they move through a world that might be tough. So sometimes the things that our children are exhibiting, they may seem problematic to us, but they might be necessary for their generation. They might need to be tough. They might need to be strong. They might need to wander and then be lost and then find. Because through that wandering, there is a strength that they gain that they can never get by listening to you. So sometimes the very thing that we love, we have to let go. You want to know if they're going to come back? Keep the door open. Keep the light on. Because what I've learned about young people as a young person myself is right now, between the age of 18 and 27, they're gaining experiences, relationships, having children. So the need to communitize isn't the same. And as you move through various cohorts of life, 30s and 40s, that need to communitize comes back. So when they go out into the world, and it's just one, they come back as 2 and 3. So when we let them go, they always come back. We fuss about them leaving instead of celebrating the fact that they came home. When you look at the latter part of the prodigal son narrative, there's an argument between the father and the elder brother. And the elder brother was working in the field, and he said that you're celebrating now that the prodigal son has returned home. But what the elder brother didn't realize was that there was a skill set that the younger brother gained because he had a chance to see how the world really worked, while the elder brother only had a chance to see how the world worked in the kingdom of the Father. See, for every mess and pain and agitation you've experienced in your life, that's going to become the experience that you'll have that will be renegotiated and remade into wisdom that will let you know what to do in your life. So for those of you who are young that are listening to this message and you feel like you don't know what to do next, you're upset about the mistakes you made, there's darkness in your head because you feel like you've messed up in certain areas, you have things going on that you don't want folks to know about, all of that stuff will give you street smarts. All of that stuff will give you wisdom. All of that stuff will give you the personal power you need in order to live and be in this world. So, to tie all this together, coming home is returning to the self, returning to the body, seeing that the power that I'm looking for isn't out in the world, it's within me. It's coming back home to my gifts and talents. It's coming home to my story and accepting who I am. Ty Dolla Sign, brother. Ty Dolla Sign. They don't know about each other. It's coming home to the awareness that God, life, spirit, divine intelligence can use all of me, all that I have, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because my personal power and my accomplishments in life aren't just me showing the nice, pretty side of who I am. They are me acknowledging all of who I am and giving it completely to life. Everybody take a deep breath. Let that energy rest and permeate your life. See yourself in a better state. See that thing that's on your heart working out. See that person, dear mother. I'm seeing a young woman laying on your chest. Spirit says, give her to me. And when you surrender her to me, she'll find her own way. Right now, she's trying to figure some things out in life as a result of her age. And she's not walking in the steps of those who've walked before her, but she's going to figure it out. And when she figures it out, you're going to be surprised because she's going to figure it out quicker than you anticipated. Others around her might have said that it's going to take her a long time to deal with this, whatever this is. But Spirit says that she doesn't have long in that process. She doesn't have long in that process. I'll get with you after service also. I have something else to tell you. But let this energy permeate and saturate deep within your hearts, because the very thing that you are looking for, I'm here to tell you that you already have. I want you to accept it. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. And I want you to trust yourself and then go do it. So it is.
Wow. Okay,
Well,
it's time for our offertory. So, we all are inspired by what we hear here. Reverend Jesse's message, our music, our meditations. So we want to build on that by giving back to unity. And if you would please hold your microphone at your mouth. And your offering in your hand, we'll say our blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. I give in love and I trust God. And so it is. And please remember there are bowls at the end of the aisles at the back of the sanctuary where you can deposit your offering. And if you forget, there's another one in the lobby on the table. But please don't put your tithes into the big plastic jug. That's just for change. And we can't get it out. So, okay. Let's see. So, it's time for the peace song.
there we go.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Amen.
Real quick, folks, one additional announcement. If you are interested in participating in our Ash Wednesday service, it will be virtual. There are ashes in the back. Please see Miss Peggy and Lily. There are ashes in little baggies that you can grab. The Ash Wednesday video meditation will be available on the website and on the church's Facebook page at 6 a.m. So you can click it as soon as you're available. If you're up early, if you're up later, you can click on it and then follow the instructions and anoint your forehead and then listen to the message and participate in the meditation. Thank you so much.